Kerbal Space Program 2 has been out for some time and there's been 3 patches, and I haven't really taken a look at the game since these patches have happened until now. And there was one thing that I wanted to do, and I sort of mentioned it in my latest Kerbal Space Program 2 video, is come up with some sort of air race circuit, right? So what we have here is a bit of a stock-ish, replica-ish. It's a stock, but replica-ish of the U.S. Air Force Sabre aircraft. And it flies very nicely. It's using just a single Whittle, I think this is called, J20 engine, as well as the larger circular intake to power us. Now, I wasn't really able to make something that looks exactly like the aircraft because of the game's limitations. Right now, trying to build things with the fairings and make things that aren't fairings is a bit of an iffy process. The game fought me with that one quite a lot. For instance, I tried to make the nose a little bit more like the actual nose of the Sabre, and several glitches were happening where the fairing would delete itself. Trying to actually get the fairing to be precise isn't really something that's able to be done. So for right now, we leave the fairings alone. I was having a little bit of issues with the wings as well, but definitely not as problematic as the fairings. But that's okay. That's okay. We can have the game, or I'm sorry, we can have fun with the game, even with those issues. Now, there's sort of a circuit that I've had in mind that I've practiced it a little bit, but I'm not good at it. But this crawlerway right here serves as a start and finish line, basically. Now, we're not there yet. What we're going to do is we're going to set up to actually get there. This straightaway, this long straightaway, serves as the final leg of a lap. And I figure if we're ever racing this in multiplayer, a long straight leg towards the finish line, that's got to be the most like tense, and you know, you got the anticipation of, oh, he's catching on me, are we gonna make it, are we gonna be in front of them or whatnot. And there's also an interesting aspect to this leg, as in it goes both ways. So the final part of the lap is you go low and fast down this towards what is it, the east, or sorry, the west. 270, that's the west, right? And at the same time, depending on where you are in the lineup, you can have other aircraft also going low and fast directly towards you. So there has to be a little bit of a dodging in a multiplayer racing setting for this circuit. Okay, but this is the end of a lap. We're coming up on the start line. So that was just pretty much a takeoff and setting up. There's so many different options for different routes that you could take, but I think that this one is a short and pretty fun one. So, okay, we're coming up on the starting line. All right, immediately into the start line, left-hand turn. It's just these slow turns. Gotta try to stay as low as possible. Low as possible for extra points. Ooh, we gotta try to avoid the lamps, because these lamps have physics and will rip your plane apart without mercy. Okay, so we got those turns. And then you take a nice turn to the right. After those S turns, you head into a double bridge fly under, we'll call it. So you head right into here, get under these two, and then there's the R&D, which I believe that's the R&D building, bridge. You want to hook a little bit left to actually line up with it. And you want to stay above the trees. They don't have collision, but they might eventually. You want to hook a right here, then immediate left around this tree, and then you're back on the straightaway. Oh jeez, oh jeez. Okay, so you don't want to hit the wings, because the Kerbal Space Program, you can't scrape things. You can't scrape things. If you touch, the part will just blow up, and you're done. You're done, kid. Okay, so this is the first straightaway. And just like I did before we actually did a lap, was you go inverted. You do a loop, and then you go down to the next straightaway. Now, I mean, the goal is to stay as low as possible, but I'm not really certain if there should be any rules about certain altitudes, right? I'm not certain if it should be a rule that you have to stay below this altitude or whatnot. I think it might be fun with it being a little chaotic. Like, for instance, maybe you should be able to stay as high as you want here as long as you reach the ending line as low as possible. But personally, I like the idea of maybe reaching the ground before this trackway up there. I don't know. But regardless. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, this is second straightaway here. I want to stay away from those lamps. Ooh. It's spooky. It's spooky flying low. Alright, yeah, so I want to get down a little bit. Maybe there's aircraft we're chasing. Maybe there's aircraft coming straight at us. Like, I'm just imagining that in a multiplayer scenario. But this is the final leg of a lap, right? And I don't know, maybe a race like this should only have something like 3 laps or something. Because I could see people maybe not surviving it. I could see myself maybe not surviving it. All right, that's 1 lap done. A little on the inside here. Okay. Oh, just barely avoided that one. We're good. Okay. We're through. That's like the most dangerous part right there. We're through it. No, keep a nice right turn. I don't think there should be any rulings on specific waypoints out here since there really isn't anything. So whatever turn you want to do to actually meet up with these bridges, go for it. Like what we're doing there is maybe not the most efficient because our aircraft definitely slows up around the bridges. And that's because I have our pitch actuators pretty high. They kind of need to be for this to work. Oh, we're a little bit high on this bridge. Oh gosh, no, we should be good. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna hook a right here, and then tough lefts into the straightaway, and avoid the lamps. Get down. All right, there we go. Onto the straightaway. Don't hit the ground. Don't hit the ground. This is a definite don't hit the ground. Okay, trying to use the caps lock fine-tune controls. It's so nice. Look at this. Like, the aircraft flies so smooth. If you have trim set correctly, you can fly very, very smoothly with the caps lock settings. It's a little bit difficult to adjust some sort of things if your trim needs to change or whatnot. But I'm getting used to it a little bit. All right, so this is the second straightaway complete. We're going to go ahead and move into a vertical here. And I love the little thing the music tends to do. I love that. The suspense, it's adding tension. Man. Okay, I'm gonna dive here. We are burning through fuel, so slowly by slowly, our top speed is increasing. It's not really something we need to be terribly mindful of, as it's not changing all that much, but it is something to note. Now, coming into the second straightaway, we start off much faster because we're coming in from a dive instead of coming in from sharp turns. And that's going to be an interesting thing. The people coming in from the other lap, they're right out of a sharp turn, whereas we are just in a straight dive. So honestly, it might be up to us to do more of avoiding. Like suddenly an aircraft jump scare off from the right just turns and we have to avoid them right before our sharp turns. Yeah, that would be interesting. Although, you know, with a 3-lap scenario, I'm not entirely certain. Oh, shoot, we're too close to the side. Okay, we're good. I accidentally killed my throttle there. Okay, we're good. Oh, gosh. Oh, no, we just lost a wing. No! I think that's a pretty fun little circuit. I'm not sure what to call it. But surely it is just the first of many different circuits that will arise with air racing, because I can imagine when we get full-blown multiplayer that, you know, we'll also have a stable game at this point, and just races have got to be fun. Like you can make it like you're only allowed to use, for this one, say you're only allowed to use the Whittle engine and only one of them, and other than that, go crazy, make whatever kind of plane you want, and just see how that goes. The aircraft that I built, It's probably not the best for this, but I was just messing around with different things to see what the game let me do and what it doesn't. It still doesn't really let me play the game how I want to, so we're in the process of getting a new Realism Overhaul install working so that we can continue things. For All Kerbal is coming back. Everyone's going to say that. Everyone always says that. It's always when For All Kerbal. It's going to happen. The videos are partially edited. At least mine is. And Beard is inching closer to being able to have time to make it. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you whenever I upload again.